90 users don't pay a lot to use the site. We do spend quite a lot of money in developing, managing, etc. Even hosting the site. But we don't charge transaction fee and all that. In fact, a lot of users pay very little. So it's a trade-off, and hopefully we reach a point that the user may be willing to pay a successful transaction fee. But having said that, it's not like I give you an excuse. I think we've got to listen, we've got to understand. So at that point of history, we just have that many people to do it. So we just do it in that manner. But I think some of this we are really looking at evaluating, and some of this feedback I think comes in quite useful for us.
Okay, one last question, anybody? Oh, two questions. The back first and then
my name is TeAM, startup entrepreneur. I have two questions. One question is how do you build up the trust among buyer, seller, and importer? And the second question is how do you handle the dispute among the buyer and seller?
Okay, good question. I think we always differentiate ourselves that we have certain level of trust. For early user, you know that in the very early days, we don't even accept Gmail, Yahoo Mail, we want company mail. We do IC verification, we do handphone verification. So people come and say that, so difficult to become your member. You ask for so much and that. But on the other hand, because you are trading, you are dealing with people, certain amount of trust. We have to create that level of trust. So we have IC verification. So every buyer seller have a profile. So if you deal with that seller, you give a good feedback. Some people have 1,000, 3,000 people who says that I can deal with you, you are a good person. So generally that's okay. If 3,000 people says that I deal with him, it's okay, and you're not okay, maybe something is wrong with you rather than the seller. But having said that, and this is a pre-announcement, we're going to announce it. We're going to introduce a buyer protection program. Okay? In the sense that a lot of people say, I don't want to buy online because I'm afraid that I don't get the product. I pay already, especially if you pay by internet banking. If you pay by credit card, actually you have a way out. You pay by credit card, you don't get your things, you can't complain to your bank, the bank will then get the money back from us, you get the money back from the bank. But the problem is that very, very few sellers can accept credit card. So they cannot accept credit card. So everyone has to transfer by bank. Once you transfer the money to the bank don't care. Right? So a lot of people say that I don't want to buy because I might not get the product. No? So we're going to introduce a buyer protection program. Hopefully, touch wood, just keep it within this next month. In the sense that if you buy something from one of our sellers, that we have a logo that we cover them for buyer protection, and if you don't get the product, we will compensate you.
What about defective products?
Okay, defective product becomes very subjective. Okay, in the sense that I don't quite like the color. The color is not quite exactly the same on the computer screen. You say this color is a light blue. I got a bit more purplish. So that one we at this stage, I think we got to take small steps. At this stage, we say that if you buy something and you didn't receive the product, we'll cover you. We'll compensate you. But again, we say that only the buyers that we have that logo. I mean, so that you can feel comfortable buying that you get the product. Again, having said that, if this seller that we cover under the buyer protection, he's covered and he has that logo, and we have received a few complaints that he's not good, and we just cut him off. I mean, at the end of the day, we want a happy transaction to take place. And buyer also need to recognize that seller in there, they are there to make money. I mean, if the seller doesn't make profit and all that, it doesn't make sense. So sometimes there are two sides to the coin. Buyer expect the sky. But you got to recognize it's a business if you're a seller. But then we do not want seller to intentionally cheat. Okay, what we talk about in there. So in our system, if you have 3 complaints, we will then suspend you as a seller. All seller has to be IC verified. seller that sell above a store member that sell above a store above a certain amount, we actually, for some of them, we request more documentation. Okay, like the company registration, etc. So we do what we can to protect the buyer. So the buyer protection will put in to protect the buyer. And like I say, we are trying to build a market. Some of the seller, they don't pay the fee, but yet we are willing to give them that buyer protection. I think that's something that we do to build the trust level, like I say, within that community. So you can buy in peace.
And how do you handle the dispute?
We are a platform. When there are dispute, generally the buyer will contact us. We do what we can to try to resolve the dispute with seller. Often, I say this often and quite frequently, is misunderstanding. Sometimes we have a lot of situations also that the seller, some are very responsible. When they go overseas, they go holiday, they tell everyone, I'm going holiday, I won't be around for the next 1 week, so that people who bought from him knows they have to wait 1 week. Some people just go off and don't care. Like they don't sometimes we don't give notice, etc. So sometimes they get misunderstanding. Wait for 2 days, they don't get. They keep on popping email, calling up, and all that kind of thing. So we try to resolve with the seller. And often at one stage, in fact, we have one seller that have so many sales that he doesn't have a system. He's just shipping to all the wrong people. He has so many sales, and some of the things are quite similar. So in that instance, we have to say that you cannot sell anymore until you sort out all your backlog, and we don't get complaints. Because I mean, if you receive, some of these people receive 150 requests or sales, they get a bit confused and a bit lost. Then they say, oh, I have to work until 2, 3 a.m. at night just to ship out. But then it's a business. I mean, you make error. It's a good problem, but then it causes quite a lot of problem for us, and then buyers get frustrated. So they don't understand that again, the problem becomes ours. So even though not as ours, we try our best to resolve. But once we put in the buyer protection program, there will be a system that we say how many days you can claim, how many days will come back to you, how many days will pay you, etc.
Okay, last question.
I'm Joe from Position. You mentioned just now that the listing is free. How to relate that to make money?
We make money from listing featuring fee. So like I said, I mean, when you have so many people selling handphone, if you sell a handphone you don't feature, maybe you go to the back or you don't get view, etc. It's like, I mean, no difference from like Yahoo, Google, you pay advertisement, advertising. You have premium listing. We have a dynamic system where we say that if you want to be listed on top, people are paying $50. You want to jump on top of him, you pay $55. No? It's like auction method. No? So if I want to be the first one on the first page, you see who is paying on the first one, you pay above him.
Okay. Thank you very much, Richard. Can we give him a
Any last word? Any last word? I think for all of you entrepreneurs, if you think that you can, then you can.